Ah! Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Hey, it's been a minute. So, Monday Night Raw, also known as the Oscars, just happened. It's a bad joke, but I mean, the Oscars are full of that, so we're right at home here. Honestly, if I wasn't told that the Oscars were happening, I probably would have forgotten about it or just missed it entirely. Same thing with the Olympics. I see the Oscars routinely come back time and time again. We watch it, we kind of just talk about it for a week and then forget about it until the next one happens. Why is that the case, though? Like, honestly, I don't know, and that's kind of in part what this video is trying to figure out. It's not like I always felt this way, far from it. There was a time when I was growing up in which I was actively excited to watch the Olympics or the Oscars or whatever was happening, regardless of how much I knew about it. In recent times, though, the Oscars ratings have been shooting down quite a bit. I think that's in part because people care less about watching new movies in the streaming age, which, by extension, means people care less about watching these award shows. So what has changed here, and what can we do to fix it? Well, let's talk about it. So I don't think I'm alone in saying this. I think the 2017 Oscars were the best year for the awards show, period. Not really because of who was involved or who was winning awards, no. Because of this one specific moment. Roll it.
We lost, by the way, but, you know.
Guys, I'm sorry. No, there's a mistake. Moonlight, Best Picture.
That's right, they messed up announcing Best Picture, which, yeah, is the biggest award basically in entertainment. Of course, it sucks that people messed up and that, everything was jumbled around. The night had been very much so derailed after that point, but let's be honest, it was good television. Like, it was uncomfortable in a good way. Everything about these shows to me just seems so forced. It's nice to kind of pull the curtain back and, watch this fall apart a little bit. And the timing of it too, it was perfect. Like, the awards had been building up to this big thing, Best Picture, and then like the last thing of the night, they messed it up. It was perfect. I'd say for the most part, it was pretty harmless too. Like, nobody was really hurt physically or emotionally. It's the Oscars. They can't do anything to, jeopardize their relationships with these beloved actors, right? Right? Well, my friends, enter in 2022, yesterday, at the time of recording this video, the 94th Oscars. Okay, let's get the elephant out of the room. Clearly, there was one very specific controversy that I'm going to address in this video. At this point, everybody and their grandma's talking about it. Unfortunately, though, because of how big this controversy was, it really overshadowed everything else in this award show, good or bad. So yeah, I'm going to make an effort to talk about all that good and bad stuff that happened outside of the controversy, because let's be real, we don't need to give this controversy more attention than it's already getting. Let's get into it. Let's start with the positive stuff, because generally speaking, there's not a lot of it. So first off, they had a moment of silence for Ukraine, which I think is really tastefully done. Better they do it that way than just have some random actor do a segment on it. Please don't do that. Next up, Questlove won for documentary feature, which is great for him. He seems like a cool dude. I haven't actually seen the movie yet. I hope to at some point. But yeah, seems like a cool movie. Big win for the black community. Big win for Questlove. He deserves all the recognition. Nice. Same deal with Coda winning Best Picture. Huge win for the deaf community, and it kind of sucks that it was overshadowed by the controversy. I want to check that one out too. And to that point, I'm not going to be diving into each and every award. I haven't seen most of the movies, if I'm being honest, so yeah, it's best left up to the people that actually know what they're talking about, right? Moving on from there, I think No Time to Die was the best performance musically of the night. That was Billie Eilish and her brother Phineas. No Time to Die is a great song. I think it fits her voice very well. The movie's great too, so yeah, can't complain there. As a side note, I don't think any Bond song will beat Skyfall. I still think it's pretty solid though, so yeah, let's move on. That's where a lot of the positive stuff ends, I'm not gonna lie. Let's just kind of get into the rest of it. I wrote a list during the show of just random things I noticed, so here we go, a little quick fire round for you. DJ Khaled, your inclusion, useless. BTS, your inclusion, useless. Hey Timothy Chalamet, put on a shirt. You look ridiculous. Amy Schumer and the Spider-Man bit, that's all I wrote for that one. Cool. Then at one point in the broadcast, they had a top 5 list. It was like, top 5 movie moments that'll make you go, ah. And then number 5 was The Matrix Bullet Time. That's a good bit. Number 3, I think, was The Avengers, where, like, in Endgame, where, what's-his-face, Captain America gets Thor's hammer. That was cool. I get it. Number 1, though, was a clip from Zack Snyder's Justice League cut. Like, what? Anyway, moving on to the music, they did a performance of We Don't Talk About Bruno that barely had the song in it because, surprise, Megan Thee Stallion showed up. And yeah, I like her. I think she's, like, alright. Don't really care for her music too much. But why was she here? We didn't need this. Andrew Garfield was picked on by the camera crew in that they cut to him 85 different times throughout the show for reaction shots. Similar thing to Will Smith. Even after the controversy, they kept cutting back to him. It was really uncomfortable. Next up, acceptance speeches are way too long. This is old news at this point. Like, just keep it to like 30 seconds or something. Everything in the show should be 30 seconds. I don't want these 5-minute skits where they're like going through things. Just keep it simple. Simple. Oh yeah, and last but not least, Chris Evans. They did a pre-recorded clip with Chris Evans where he congratulates one of the winners for like winning the Oscar. And he goes, "Yeah, man, congrats. You did a great job. I'm really proud of you. Anyway, here's a trailer for my new movie, Lightyear, coming to theaters soon." And then they just didn't play the trailer at all. Like, it was bad enough that he was promoting that, but then they didn't even play the trailer. Hilarious. Oh, very quickly, one more thing I forgot to mention is about the animation category. This Oscars and many others have kind of perpetuated this idea that animation's only for kids and it's kind of useless outside of that context. It's not like that. And thankfully, the people that won for Best Animated Short, they go up and they're like, no, animation can be for adults too. Why don't we just call them movies instead of, whatever you're saying? Which I think that's a win in my book, so good on you. So that's the end of the list. It's safe to say, even without the controversies or mean jokes or whatever, this award show was just chaotic, to say the least. And I guess now's a better time than ever to talk about the 3 different hosts of the award show. You got Amy Schumer, you got Wanda Sykes, you got Regina Hall. All of them kind of sucked for different reasons. I think we'll get the easy one out of the way. Amy Schumer has not been relevant since 2016, and her claim to fame is basically stealing other people's jokes and just not being funny with her own material. Why is she here? Her jokes didn't hit, the Spider-Man thing, the Spider-Man thing. And then one of the most uncomfortable bits of the night was Amy Schumer talking about people who she refers to as like seat fillers or seat warmers or something, wherein they lose an award and they just sit there and look pretty. So she was just really clowning on people that didn't win awards. Wanda's up next. She was the best of the 3 hosts, I think, but still not too great. I think at one point she made an NFT joke. I don't like using the word cringe, but hey, that's cringe. Then her little skit where she toured around the Academy Museum, it just wasn't that funny. It just dragged on for way too long as well. She also talked with Judi Dench at one point and was like, "Hey Judy, you didn't win an award tonight, so I'm going to give you an inspirational quote. It's from Kim Kardashian. The quote is, 'Try harder next time.'" What? Wait, what? It's so uncalled for. Why are they just picking on Judi Dench for no reason? Like, it's just kind of mean too. I don't know. And then we get to Regina Hall, who might have had one of the grossest bits of the night. And nobody's going to be talking about this one because of the whole Will Smith thing, but I'll tell you what it was right now. Basically, at one point, she was like, "Okay, guys, we got to do some more COVID tests because some of our tests were lost." And then she proceeded to call up every single attractive male celebrity. And then she said, "Yeah, I'm going to do a COVID test on you by swabbing your mouth out with my tongue."
Jacob Elordi, is that how you say it? Elordi? I've seen you on Euphoria, and yes, you are legal. I'm sorry. You are positive. It's simple. I'm going to swab the back of your mouth with my tongue, and we're just going to do some other freaky stuff, which I will record for Academy protocol. Really, this isn't up to me. The truth is, we're still in a pandemic.
And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, Josh Brolin and Jason Momoa come on to introduce and present the next award, and then she runs up behind them and pats them down, physically groping these 2 grown men on internationally broadcasted television. Why? It wasn't even funny. Make it funny if you're going to do something like that. Okay, whatever. Now I think it's time we address the main part of the video. I think this is what all of you want to hear me talk about, the Will Smith, Chris Rock controversy. Let's get into it. Okay, so context, comedian Chris Rock goes up to present the Best Documentary Feature Award. Keep in mind, Will Smith and Jada Smith are sitting in the front row, the very front row. I mean, it makes sense. Hollywood loves Will Smith. He seems like a really charismatic guy. He loves the work he does, so I mean, why not support him in that, right? But, oh man, I can't justify what he does in this next bit. So Chris Rock starts doing his thing, and then he pokes fun at Jada Pinkett Smith, which is kind of typical for award shows. People get made fun of, they like poking fun at each other. It's happened before. So the joke Chris makes is about Jada's shaved head. I think she has alopecia, so that's in part why she looks like that. I think the joke was Chris said that she'd be cast in the new G.I. Jane movie because of her shaved head. Not even, like, too great a joke, right? Like, he could have done without it. So anyway, he says the joke. Will Smith, in the moment on live television, has two options. Option one, he either laughs it off and just kind of moves on, or option two, he's physically uncomfortable but doesn't do anything about it and then moves on. Either way, though, if Will had an issue, he could just approach Chris after the show, right? Instead, though, he did what I would consider to be one of the craziest, if not the craziest, live television moment I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, wow! Wow! Oh, wow! Wow!
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude!
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay?
Oh, looks like Smith's got a punchline of his own. Hey, Will, don't punch me over that one. Jokes aside, like, why did he do that? Why did he do it as a multi-generational role model, as an adult, as a guy who, yeah, let's be honest, was in the spotlight for the entire show thus far? He's up for Best Actor. He's sitting in the front row, for crying out loud. And I'm not defending Chris Rock entirely. I don't think the joke should have happened in the first place. But honestly, props to Chris Rock for not only taking that punch like a champ, but also continuing the show without escalating the situation. You know Chris Rock's a good comedian. He was probably thinking of a crazy roast to come back with. But he kept his cool, and he knew that it was an internationally broadcasted event that presents people with kind of the highest awards in entertainment, so yeah, props to him for doing that. But Will, I mean, those actions, like just hitting someone, it's so shameful. Far worse jokes have been said on that stage. Like, you could have just dealt with it afterwards. There's no excuse for it. I think that was insulting to his own image, to Chris Rock, to the Academy in general. Yeah, like it was just bad. And then the ceremony after that, the entire thing was so uncomfortable in the worst way. Everybody was instructed to act like nothing happened, and they kept cutting back to Will Smith after the controversy the whole time. He's just laughing like, Seth Rogen. It was crazy how fast he snapped back into laughter. Now, a lot of people, I can understand, probably think this is faked. After all, like I mentioned earlier, Oscar ratings have been going down, so naturally a controversy like this is going to get people talking about the Oscars again. And actually, at first, I thought this was fake too. Even the audience thought it was fake too. Will Smith walks up, he does the punch, he walks back like nothing happened, and the audience is audibly laughing. You can hear it.
Oh, wow!
Yeah, when Will was swearing, he was repeating himself too. He really meant what he was saying. And then Chris, he was stumbling through that introduction. He was in awe at what just happened. And that's not even mentioning Will Smith's acceptance speech afterwards. My goodness, let's talk about that. So yeah, Will Smith and these other people pretend like nothing at all has happened. And then we're given the nominees for Best Actor. And we see Will Smith is nominated. And of course, as soon as I saw that name, I thought he was going to get it, just so he could talk about what just happened. That's not to say the award was rigged. I'm sure he deserved it. I haven't seen the film myself, so I can't really speak on it. But yeah, it's just convenient that he's given a platform to address what's going on here. So Smith gets the award for playing Serena and Venus Williams' father, and he tries to weave that in quite a bit throughout his speech. So yeah, let's take a look at what he has to say.
Richard Williams was a fierce defender of his family.
Ooh, that audience reaction is crippling, to say the least.
I am overwhelmed by what God is calling on me to do and be in this world.
It's interesting that he's weaving in God and the devil and the influence it's having on his family and his career. It's interesting that that's all thematically woven into his speech. Check out this guy in the back. Wait. In the back left here. Look what he does. He, like, slumps into his chair. Ugh. I've had enough, man.
I want to be a vessel for love.
You want to be a vessel for love. So violence is never the answer. Surely.
I want to say thank you to Venus.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay, so I watched this live, too, and for some reason the Oscars logo keeps coming in. I don't know if they're trying to cut him off or like cut to somewhere else, but yeah, see, it's like bugging out, it's flashing a little bit. So that wasn't great either.
I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees.
Interesting that he didn't apologize to Chris. That's another point for this being real. So the way I interpret it, I think he fully meant what he did. He's just not happy that he did it here, if that makes sense.
Love will make you do crazy things.
Love will make you do crazy things, and then they cut to the woman that cheated on him. Interesting choice. Hey, it's me again. There's a few things I didn't address when filming the video originally. I'm just editing now, so I wanted to add this, while I'm still here and still talking about it. So, to Will's point just now, love is not a justification for hitting someone, nor is God, nor is the devil. I don't see a real apology in what he said. Assuming the act of violence didn't happen for a moment, he could have, used that opportunity when speaking to address Jada's condition and really own Chris Rock in saying, no, this is a serious issue that shouldn't be joked about. Look at how many people have it. And no, I wouldn't go as far as to say, take his award away, he doesn't deserve it. No, not at all. Sorry, my phone died. What I am suggesting, though, is that I think the way in which he approached going onto the stage, hitting Chris Rock, and then, trying to make up excuses in his speech like that, I think he handled it kind of poorly. In addition to that, I think the way in which I see him has now changed. I used to always associate Will Smith with being very charismatic, family-friendly, and fun, but now, actions like these kind of challenge that. I don't think that image is entirely gone, it's different now. And I don't know how I feel about it. After all, this incident in quotations only happened a day ago, so, we'll give it some time and we'll see how I feel later, but there you go.
But to my mother, she didn't want to come out. Had her knitting friend. She has a knitting crew that she's in Philly watching.
So you're telling me he got in one little fight and his mom got scared? Come on, it was right there. Come on. So I watched the rest of it. He seems to just give kind of a general conclusion. Let's talk about what all that means. Okay, so general thoughts. I haven't seen the film. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure he did a great job. So congratulations for the Oscar. Like he said, though, this is no longer just about the award. So circling back to my original question, what can we take away from this? Again, I don't know. To me, this whole roller coaster of a night is very representative of the film and entertainment industries in general. Yeah, you have these big names that make mistakes like this, and then life goes on. What does that mean for Will Smith and Chris Rock's brands? They've both certainly lost some respect in my book, Will a lot more so than Chris. Actually, now that I think about it, Chris's joke is the only bad thing about it. He handled the situation really well, so I can give him props for that. And then, yeah, moving on from there, what does this mean for the Oscars going forward? Where 2017 was uncomfortable in a good way, this was uncomfortable in the worst way because the show had to just keep going on. I really hope they don't see this and try to lean into shock value going forward. I don't think that's going to work at all. On the other hand, though, I don't think they should just stick to the pampered, very organized show that they've been doing for 94 years or however long it is. I think it needs to be organized, but they just need to take themselves less seriously. Oh boy. But yeah, that's it for me. Check out my other videos if you haven't seen them already. Thanks for watching. Take care.